As a manager and leader, what are the most important skills that will help future-proof your career? In this video, we're going to cover our top 10 leadership skills that every manager should know about. Hi, it's Phillip from the Leadership Sphere. On this channel, we're all about creating insight, building influence, and helping you make a positive impact as a leader. If you're new here, then consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button below. And all the links to everything we mention in this video can be found in the description below. So let's jump into it. Our first top 10 leadership skill is eyes up and out. So what do I mean by up and out? Firstly, good leaders have the ability to look up, that is beyond the cut and thrust of their day-to-day roles. They're able to see things around them that others miss. And they're able to see the risks as well as the opportunities. They do this by looking beyond their own team or area and have a good awareness of the broader organisation. They also have an idea of what's going on outside their organisation, like what their competitors are doing, for example. I'd like to also share 2 power tips with you. Power tip number 1, practice how to zoom in and out. Zoom out to see the big picture, the patterns, how it all fits together, or what Ron Heifetz describes as broadening the canvas, so we can see the whole system, and conversely zoom in to be able to effectively understand what's happening closer to the ground. Power tip number 2, build time in for reflection. Create space and time to think. Leadership skill number 2, change leadership. Leading change is complex because it demands so many different qualities and skills of a leader. These top 10 leadership skills, for example, encompass just about everything that's required for leaders. If leaders aren't leading change in some shape or form, then they're probably doing an excellent job at managing the status quo. While managing what is important in terms of producing high quality, reproducible results, think customer service, it is not the main game. True leadership involves mobilising people who are closest to the problem or opportunity and then supporting them to make the necessary changes. Leadership skill number 3. Network savvy, seeing the whole. Many tasks with leadership are too focused on what's in front of them rather than being able to think in a joined up way. Leaders need to be able to see the whole system and understand how it operates in unison. Being savvy means being able to see how the human and mechanical systems, i.e. policies, processes, systems and structure, work together to create a state of homeostasis or no change. Being network-wise will become even more important in the future. And as someone once said, organisations are perfectly aligned to get the results they get. Leadership skill number 4, politically savvy. Note that I said politically savvy, not political. There is a difference. Building on leadership skill number 1, eyes up and out, being politically savvy means understanding the direction and depth of relationships, understanding people's loyalties. For example, who they are as people, their history, their ways of doing things. And finally, understanding the losses we're asking people and teams to sustain as a result of our change or initiative. It could be threats to their status, resources, money, stability, autonomy, or being part of a tribe. Leadership skill number 5, leading teams. In the future, teams will become even more important. Leaders will need to be able to quickly form a team, separate and reform faster than ever before to work on discrete parcels of work. Leaders will need the know-how to create a climate of performance and health quickly. And frankly, I see many leaders and managers make the same mistakes over and over when leading their teams. This will be the subject of another video. Leadership skill number 6, developing people. Developing people could be the most important skill needed for the future. Today, the bias is for action and task completion rather than growing and developing people. Learning and people's everyday role functions are still too separated. Leaders will need to think differently by providing learning opportunities at the same time as getting the job done. What would it look like, for example, if a minimum of 50% of everything employees did provided a genuine development opportunity? What would be the benefits over time? Leadership skill number 7, building relationships. It might sound obvious, but the ability to build relationships across functions, silos, and diverse interests and agendas can be tricky business. The best build a platform of credibility that comes from being able to achieve results while fostering positive relations. The qualities and skills needed to do this successfully include genuine care for others, empathy, and warmth. Leadership skill number 8, trust. Trust is as old as time but remains fundamental in shaping how we work, live, and love. Effective leaders are able to build trust and be trustworthy. Nothing facilitates the speed of business like trust. Good leaders strike a balance between company and personal objectives by being open and transparent, but in the right amounts. It must make sense for the prevailing culture, mood, and operating rhythm. Leadership skill number 9, resilience. Effective leaders have the capacity to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. While they are not robots by any stretch of the imagination, they have developed personal strategies that move beyond mere survival. In a world where more people are prone to a sense of overwhelm, developing the skills of resilience, particularly a balanced approach to life, is vital. Leadership skill number 10, self-mastery. Self-mastery is a term that may not be commonly used in business, but it really separates average leaders from the best leaders. While we are tribal in nature as a species, this doesn't mean we always get along with each other. Unfortunately, we all have egos, and it is our ego that gets in the way of effective leadership. Brené Brown's research and commentary on vulnerability is interesting. Brown suggests in a culture of scarcity, that is, feeling we're not enough, not thin enough, not smart enough, not wealthy enough, we constantly feel the need to prove to ourselves and others that we are in fact smart, competent, and have it all together. So there you have it, my assessment of the top 10 leadership skills that organisations are and will look for in the future. While each of these leadership skills requires continuous attention, investment and support, the results for organisations and the communities they serve justifies the effort. A question for you. Which of the top 10 leadership skills are you most challenged by? Leave a comment in the comment box below. Also, if this is your first time, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future videos.